And for more, we welcome now retired Navy Captain Armen Kurdian. Armen, great to see you. Thank you for being here. First, let's talk about President Trump's potential remarks happening at any moment. There are reports he'll be announcing the contract for the U.S. Air Force's sixth-generation fighter jet. How big of a deal is that, and what's at stake now for Lockheed and Boeing?
Good morning, Kelly. There's a huge amount at stake, not just for Lockheed Boeing, but for the United States as a whole. China is able to develop, the advanced generation fighters in half the time it takes us, about 7 years for them, about 14 for us. So a sixth generation fighter with advanced stealth technology, perhaps even some, measure of who knows, energy weapons, what you want to think about in that sense. We have to keep up with the threat with China, and we also have to be able to field these kinds of systems much, much faster because China has made a goal of catching up to us and beating us and being able to influence events in the South China Sea around Taiwan. So a lot's at stake, a lot at stake for the credibility of both of these companies as we continue to try to keep pace.
Yeah, and that's a big priority of this administration, as you know. Moving on to Musk's Pentagon meeting, as a retired captain, what's your take on him getting access in this way, given also his extensive businesses in China?
So, with regards to the Department of Defense budget and the amount of money that's going to be cut, there's a lot of waste in the Department of Defense. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. But there's also even more, a greater need for acquisition reforms, not just what the DoD spends money on, but it's how we actually spend money, the controls and the obstacles we put in place. I can tell you, I had a program that got audited, a healthy program that got audited about 10 years ago when I was still in the Navy. And after about $100,000 of labor, the GAO says, "Oh, we didn't really find anything," and wasted all of our time. So this is a big problem that we have, and the DoD costs itself a lot of money. With regards to Musk's, contracts in China, I know we keep hearing about this. Trump is enriching himself. Musk is enriching himself. I've yet to find a billionaire that entered government service that left government service richer than when he actually went in. So this is a lot of public service. Basically, Musk is seeing his company value cut in half, stepping away from his roles as the CEO and the founder of that company in order to try to help the United States.
Yeah, and he says he will continue, even if that trend continues. What do you believe is the motive for allowing Musk into this briefing, especially considering all of the pushback and the flack that the administration is receiving over this?
A lot of times when you're part of the Department of Defense, you fail to see very such a thing that someone from an outside standpoint would see. Musk has a history of starting several companies and efficiencies. So from that standpoint, his counsel has been wise. You see all the tens of billions of dollars that's been located and found so far within the government that doesn't need to be spent, that judges are apparently trying to force the DoD or force the U.S. government to actually spend. So not only will he be looking for these kinds of things, but also ideas in terms of technology and say, hey, have you thought about this? We at Tesla, we did this. At SpaceX, we did this kind of contracting work. And that kind of insight is exceptionally valuable. The DoD is an incubator for a lot of innovation across industry. But I can also tell you firsthand that a lot of money that is spent on innovation and a lot of these small business grants, they do something and then they go nowhere. And that's been the biggest problem. So you could easily cut a lot of money out of the DoD and not lose any services or mission capabilities.
All right, Captain Armen Kurdian, thank you so much for your time and weighing in. Always appreciated.
Thanks, Kelly. Good morning.